ability to cut off the ring is more, and he's bigger and stronger, and I think there's a risk there for Crawford, but this is why you tune in, right? Crawford keeps doing the amazing.
And ability to cut off the ring is more, and he's bigger and stronger, and I think there's a risk there for Crawford, but this is why you tune in, right? Crawford keeps doing the amazing. Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez are about to wipe the slate clean for boxing fans still cringing from the circus act that was Mike Tyson and Jake Paul's so-called fight. Let's be real, that was a spectacle, not a sport, but here come Crawford and Canelo ready to remind everyone what true greatness in the ring looks like, looking for the big fight. Crawford-Canelo, and now we're preparing for this. You want to do everything. Their May 2025 clash is about honoring the legacy of boxing as a pure, untainted battle of skill and heart. Yo Turk, tell them we going for Canelo next. Yes, let's go Canelo, come on. These two undisputed champions are stepping into the ring not for clout but to prove why they are the royalty of this sport. The Tyson-Paul fiasco, you won't even remember it when Crawford and Canelo deliver a masterclass that leaves us all in awe. Get ready for a fight so genuine, so epic, it'll take over every conversation in the boxing world. Text me yesterday if it's not possible to talk about that fight for Priv or meet to yesterday here in Los Angeles with Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez are two undisputed champions, two completely different weight classes and one stage that could redefine what we even consider possible in this sport. If you thought Crawford's beatdown of Errol Spence Jr. in 2023 was legendary, this fight would take things to an entirely new level. As the Canelo fight realistically left your mind once he said he's not interested. Are you still pursuing it? Not at all. I think business talk. With the right. Crawford is 36 years old, but don't let that number fool you. He's a monster in the ring, first guy in the four-belt era to hold undisputed titles in two weight divisions. Oh, and he didn't just beat Spence, he dismantled him with a 9th-round TKO like it was a sparring session. Crawford's been tearing through weight classes like they're levels in a video game, and now he's ready to jump another 21 pounds to take on Canelo. Yeah, 21 pounds, that's not just a challenge, it's borderline crazy. But if anyone can pull off the impossible, it's Bud. How can you? A man coming from 147. I know he's a great man. Crawford is a great man and a great warrior, but you come from 147 to put on a better fight than I don't even know what that means. I don't know if that means that Crawford is so great and he could do that, or that means that Charlo set the bar so damn low that anybody could. Now let's talk about Canelo Alvarez, the 33-year-old king of the super middleweight division. His record speaks for itself, 59-22 with 39 knockouts. This guy's been ruling the 168 Lon L division like a dictator. Just last year he took out Jaime Mangua and Edgar Berlanga without even breaking a sweat. Canelo's power, precision, and ability to adapt are what make him so dangerous, and he's already proven he can mess with bigger guys, well, except for Dimitri Bivol. But let's not dwell on that too much. I'll say that he sent you an offer, possibly face Crawford for coming up here. Is that true, or what happened with that? No, I don't have any offer, and look, I'm 100% focused on this fight. And then, so why does this fight matter so much? It's more than just a clash of champions, it's about legacy. Crawford is stepping up two whole weight classes, putting his speed and technical genius against Canelo's size and raw power. It's the kind of fight where careers are made or broken. And then there's Saudi Arabia, yeah, the land of oil and endless money, is stepping in to make this happen. Word is the paydays being thrown around are record-breaking, and when you hear record-breaking in boxing, it's not chump change. The Saudis have been throwing cash at combat sports like it's monopoly money, and this fight might just be their crown jewel. I think that Crawford could beat him, cause Crawford is a big 147 fighter and is strong as well, which a lot of people don't give him the credit for. But let's not act like this is going to be a cakewalk for Crawford. He already moved up to 154 pounds and took out Israel Madramov to grab the WBA world title. That was impressive, no doubt. But 168 PMS is a whole other beast. We're talking about adding 14 more pounds to his frame, and that's where things get dicey. Speed, stamina, power. How much of that survives when you're carrying the weight of 2 Thanksgiving dinners? Body keeps bringing up Canelo. I think that's weird, cause you'd have to gain like 20 pounds. Yeah, but they say that's the money fight, that's the mega fight, that's the money fight, that's the only thing that makes sense for Terence Crawford. Well, you know what I mean. Catch we can do something at a catch we. What you think? Probably like 160 or something. You said 150 for the highest you want to Go. Yeah, 158 experts are already weighing in and the opinions are split. David Benovitz, who knows a thing or two about throwing hands with bigger guys, says Crawford's biting off more than he can chew. Meanwhile, Demetrius Andrade is all about Crawford's skills but admits the size and agility of someone like Canelo might just be too much. These aren't just hot takes, they're legit concerns. On the flip side, Canelo isn't exactly jumping at the chance to make this fight happen. At first he was all nah, this isn't it, and honestly you can see his point. If he wins, people will say, well, Crawford's too small, but if he loses, oh man, the internet would have a field day. But guess what, the Saudis flashed that money and now Canelo's like, okay, maybe. He recently hinted that he's open to the fight if the price is right. What do you think about Terence Crawford calling out Canelo? You know, I don't like that fight. Why not? I don't like that fight, it's just too much weight. Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez kind of showdown that could rewrite boxing history. You've got Crawford, a technical genius with a knack for picking apart opponents like he's solving a puzzle, going up against Canelo, a powerhouse who's been ruling the 168 Wabi division with an iron fist. This fight isn't about titles or money, okay, maybe a little about money. It's about legacy, risks, and a stage big enough to showcase the greatness of both fighters. If Crawford and Canelo were it come to fruition, you see that being competitive still, even with the 21 pounds difference. Jim Crawford, I don't want to have to go up to 168 pounds to get the B. I want to somehow go Canelo into thinking that it's okay to fight him at, you know, best of all possible world. Let's start with Crawford. This guy's a masterclass in adaptability. Against Errol Spence Jr. he didn't just win, he put on a performance so one-sided it felt like Spence wandered into the wrong sport. Crawford landed 50% of his power punches, while Spence managed just 133%. That's not just dominance, that's a boxing clinic. And it's not just Spence. Crawford does this to everyone. He finds your weakness mid-fight, exploits it, and makes it look effortless. But Crawford's move up in weight has been, let's call it, an adventure. Against Israel Madrimov he changed his entire style, becoming more aggressive and less reliant on movement. Trading punches with a bigger guy was a bold move, but it worked sort of. While he won, it raised questions about how much his power carries to higher weight classes. At 168 blobs he's stepping into uncharted territory where the guys aren't just bigger, they're built to absorb the kind of punches that flatten smaller opponents. And let's not ignore the elephant in the room, Crawford hasn't been knocking out bigger guys the way he did in lower divisions. Facing someone like Canelo, who's made a career of eating big shots for breakfast, this could be a serious problem. We looking for the big fight, Crawford Canelo, you know, we preparing for this. You want to do everything. Crawford and Canelo's ability to cut off the ring and pressure opponents is unmatched. He's taken down technical fighters, power punchers, and everyone in between with a KO rate of 65% at $168 salads. He's got the kind of power that makes opponents second-guess their life choices, but he's not perfect. His punch output has been dipping in later rounds, and against a guy who moves as much as Crawford, that could be a real issue. We saw this against Dimitri Bivol. Canelo struggled to keep up with a more mobile opponent. If Crawford can exploit that same weakness, we might just have a fight on our hands. The power, or by no power. Yeah, we're not to roll with punches, we're not to take power. You can take your power away from how you take a power puncher. Take the power away from a puncher. No, I ain't going to tell you. You should know. Slide off, take something off the shot here and there. Of course the experts have plenty to say. David Benovitz thinks Crawford is walking into a night. Bigger guys at 168 grams can take punches that would flatten welterweights, and Canelo's experience at this weight could be the deciding factor. Demetrius Andrade, while a big fan of Crawford's technical skills, isn't convinced either. He respects Crawford's game but doesn't see him overcoming Canelo's size, strength, and adaptability. Saudi promoters are throwing around cash like it's a hobby, offering each fighter somewhere between $50 million, $100 million. Yes, you read that right. The Saudis are building a reputation for hosting mega events, and this fight fits their vision perfectly. It's not just about the money, it's about putting boxing on a global stage and making fights like this a reality. Canelo versus Crawford, the biggest fight in the game. Yes, I mean, like when you're looking at Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis, this is the next thing beyond for Crawford. This fight is about proving that skills can outweigh size. A win would solidify him as one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters ever. He's not just chasing